Hi there! In this video, I'll show you how to get started with Microsoft Power BI. We'll focus on importing data from Excel or CSV files, combining it using Power Query, and creating a simple visualization. Even if you're a beginner, this step-by-step guide will help you follow along with ease. Have you ever experienced this? Managing monthly sales data or inventory lists in Excel, only to find yourself spending way too much time on manual calculations. Sometimes, you even forget which folder you saved the files in, and searching for them becomes a hassle. You end up jumping between multiple files, struggling to keep track of where everything is. And when you try to create an easy-to-understand graph, it's a time-consuming manual process. Don't worry. With Power BI, you can transform your data into powerful visualizations in just a few clicks. Let's start by importing data from an Excel file into Power BI. Open Power BI, go to the Home tab, click on Get Data, and then select Excel Workbook. After that, specify the file you want to import. In this example, we have a folder containing sample data. It includes an Excel file in .xlsx format and CSV files for each month from January to July. The data looks like this: a table of sales data with the following headers: order ID, customer name, quantity, unit price, order date, and region. In this tutorial, we will cover 3 methods: importing a single file directly, combining multiple files into one dataset, importing an entire folder of files at once. Let's import the January data from a folder containing Excel files for January to July. This is a basic approach, perfect for beginners. Open Power BI Desktop. Choose Blank Report to start a new project. Go to the Home tab and click Get Data. From the options, select Excel Workbook. Navigate to the folder where the files are stored and select the January file. Click Open. The Navigator window will appear. Select the appropriate sheet name. On the right, you'll see a preview of the data. If you think the data might be outdated, click the Refresh button to ensure you're working with the latest version. For now, we'll proceed with importing the data. Click Load. The data from January is now available in the Data pane on the left. You can review its contents by selecting the table in the Data view on the right. Great! Now, let's import multiple datasets and combine them. This is a common scenario where Excel sheets are separated by months. In this case, we have sheet names for January, February, and March. We'll import each sheet one by one. After that, we'll use the Append Queries feature to combine the data for all 3 months into a single dataset. Go to the Home tab and click on Get Data. Select Excel Workbook. Choose the folder and pick the file for January. Power BI will display the sheet names inside the workbook. There are 3 sheets in this example. Select one of the sheets to load its data. On the right side, you'll now see the 3 datasets appear in the Data area. You can also check them by switching to Table View on the left. Now, you can see that we have datasets for January, February, and March. Next, importing CSV files into Power BI. To import CSV files into Power BI, follow these steps. Click on Get Data in the ribbon. Select Text/CSV from the options. Choose the relevant file you want to import. The data will be imported based on the file name. If you have multiple CSV files to import, repeat the same steps for each file. Now, let's move on to merging data using Power Query. Power Query is a powerful tool available in Microsoft Excel and Power BI that enables efficient data collection, transformation, and integration. Key features of Power Query: data import. Easily import data from various sources such as Excel files, databases, and web pages. Data transformation. Perform actions like filtering, adding or removing columns, and changing data types. all without coding. Automation. Once you define a sequence of steps, queries, they are automatically saved and reusable. User-friendly. It allows you to intuitively prepare and analyze data without requiring programming knowledge, making it ideal for streamlining data, preparation, and analysis. The relationship between Power BI and Power Query. Power BI, a tool for visually analyzing and sharing data, used for creating dashboards and reports. Power Query, a component of Power BI that handles data collection, transformation, and preparation. If Power BI is like a restaurant, Power Query is the kitchen. It collects raw data, merges it, removes unnecessary parts, and organizes it into a clean and usable format. Power Query is a convenient tool for organizing data and serves as a critical support for efficient analysis and report creation in Power BI. Next, I'll show you one method to combine these datasets into a single table. Now, let's move on to combining data in Power Query. 1. Open Power Query Editor. After importing your data, it will appear in the Power Query interface. Select the data, right-click, and choose Edit Query. This opens the Power Query Editor screen. On the Home tab, look for the Combine section, where you'll find Merge Query and Append Query. 2. When to use Append Query. If all the data you imported, e.g., Excel files or CSV files, has the same table structure and you need to combine them, use Append Query. 3. How to append queries. Select Append Queries as New from the drop-down menu. The Append dialog box will appear. In this example, we want to combine 3 months of data, so select 3 or more tables and click OK. 4. Add tables. Select the tables for February and March, then click Add. Once done, click OK again. 5. Rename the query. A new query named Append One will appear. Rename it to something more meaningful, like January to March, to make it easier to identify later. 6. Close and apply. Click Close and Apply to save and load the combined data. You'll see the message, Loading, and the process is complete. Great! Now your combined data is ready to use in Power BI's visualization section. Let me know if you'd like to refine it further. Append Query, used when you want to combine 2 or more tables vertically by rows. Example, combine monthly sales data, such as sales for January and February, into one table. By using the Append Query function, the data from January and February will be stacked vertically. Merge Query, used when you want to combine 2 or more tables horizontally by columns. Example, suppose you have Table A and Table B, both containing a common key, Customer ID. By using the Merge Query function, you can add columns from Table B to Table A based on the shared key. This is similar to Excel's VLOOKUP or XLOOKUP functions, but offers more flexibility and efficiency. Let's try importing and visualizing data with the following scenario. We have 2 folders. One contains CSV files for January to April. The other contains Excel.xlsx files for May to September. We'll import the data from these folders and perform an append query to combine them. After that, we'll visualize the results. Finally, we'll add new data files for October, November, and December to their respective folders, and refresh the visualization to include the updated data. On your desktop, you have a folder containing CSV files and another folder with XLSX files. Let's start by importing the CSV folder. Go to the Home tab and click on Get Data. In the Get Data dialog box, select Folder and then click Connect. Choose the CSV folder from your desktop and click OK. Next, click on Combine and Transform Data. The Combine Files dialog box will appear. Check the preview of the data. It looks fine. Click OK to proceed. After combining the files, click Apply Changes. While the data loads, wait for the process to complete. Once done, the CSV data will appear in your data workspace. Great job! You've successfully imported the CSV files. Here's how to import XLSX files. Go to the Home tab and select Get Data. From the Get Data dialog box, choose Folder and click Connect. Browse to the XLSX folder on your desktop and select it. Click OK to proceed. Choose Combine and Transform Data. The Combine Files dialog box will appear, and you'll see the sheet name displayed. Important note: make sure all the sheets in the monthly files have the same name. If there's an error, check the sheet names. It looks good so far. Click OK to proceed. You'll see the Helper Queries screen, but for this tutorial, go directly to the Home tab and select Close and Apply. The data is now loading. Once it's done, the XLSX data appears in the Data area. Great! Next, check if the data was imported correctly by using the Data view on the left panel. Let's start with the CSV data. Sorting the order. Data shows that both January and onwards have been successfully combined. Now, let's check the XLSX data. Here, you can see that the data from May onwards has been imported correctly. Looks perfect! To combine CSV and XLSX data, start by going to the Data section, right-clicking on Data, and selecting Edit Query. The Power Query window will appear. In the Home tab, select Append Queries, then choose Append Queries as New. The Append dialog box will open. Append the XLSX data to the CSV data and click OK. The data will begin loading. A new dataset named Append 1 will appear in the Data section. You can rename it to something more descriptive using the Rename option, but for this tutorial, we'll leave it as is. Finally, review the combined data, which includes information from January to August. Let's create a simple visualization, starting with a line chart. Select Line Chart from the Visualization section. Once inserted, place and adjust it to your preferred location. Add fields to the respective text boxes. For the X-axis, use Order Date. Ensure it is in the date format, but for this example, we'll drill down to only the month level. For the Y-axis, use Sum of Quantity. For the legend, use Products. This creates a line chart showing the quantity sold for each product from January to August. Now, let's create a donut chart. Select Donut Chart, adjust its position and size. Add the data fields. For the legend, use Products. For the values, use Sum of Quantity. The donut chart is complete. Next, insert a clustered bar chart. Select Clustered Bar Chart. Assign fields to the axes and legend. For the Y-axis, use Region. For the X-axis, use Sum of Quantity. For the legend, use Products. This chart shows the sales quantity by region. Finally, let's add a card at the top. Select Card from the Visualization section. For the fields, use Product. Great! Everything is set up. Let's try if Power BI updates automatically when new data is added to the folder. On the desktop, move the 4 Excel files for September, October, November, and December into the existing XLSX folder that contains data from January to August. Open Power BI again. In the Home tab, click the Refresh button. The data will start loading. Okay. As you can see, the data has been successfully updated with the new information. In this video, we covered how to import data, perform basic editing with Power Query, and create simple visualizations. Thank you for watching till the end. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to the channel. Feel free to leave any questions or requests in the comments below. See you in the next video!